The world wants you weak. It wants you distracted, scrolling, complaining, offended, addicted to comfort and terrified of pain. It sells you outrage, instant gratification, and the lie that your feelings are facts. It teaches you to blame, to wait, to hope someone saves you. And every day you buy in, you get a little softer, a little more fragile, a little more breakable. But you weren't built to break. 2,000 years ago, men faced plague, exile, war, and death, with nothing but a cloak and a code. They were slaves and emperors. They were beaten, betrayed, and buried. Yet they died unbreakable. Not because life was easier, but because their minds were stronger. Their code was Stoicism. Stoicism isn't philosophy for people in togas. It's a weapon for people in the arena. Your arena is today. The inbox, the breakup, the debt, the disrespect, the doctor's call, the 5 a.m. alarm you don't want to hear. Life will test you. It will take from you. It will put you on your knees. The question is, what happens next? The unbreakable don't get fewer storms. They build better ships. They know pain is inevitable, but suffering is a choice. They know you can't control the waves, but you can control the hands on the wheel. They don't beg for an easy life. They train for a hard one. This isn't about being cold. It's about being clear. It's about standing in the fire and choosing your response instead of letting anger, fear, or ego choose for you. It's about remembering you will die, memento mori, so you finally start to live. It's about doing the hard thing, especially when no one's watching, because your character is the only thing you truly own. These 10 lessons aren't quotes for your wallpaper. They're drills for your mind. Practice them and you become dangerous to everything that used to control you. Ignore them and the world will keep breaking you. One scroll, one excuse, one reaction at a time. You have one job: master yourself or be ruled by everything else. So let's begin. Here are 10 Stoic lessons that will make you unbreakable. You're exhausted. Not from work, from fighting ghosts. Every morning you wake up and declare war on the weather, on traffic, on your boss's mood, on what your ex posted, on the economy, on the past. You clench your jaw. You rehearse arguments. You refresh the news. You try to control 1,000 things that were never yours to control. And by noon you're drained. By night you're broken. By next week you're wondering why you feel so powerless. Here's the twist they never told you. You were born free. You just handed your chains to everyone else. There are 2 circles in your life. One is small. You can stand in it. It holds your actions, your words, your choices, your effort, your attitude. That's it. That's the whole list. Everything else, other people's opinions, the market, your childhood, the storm outside, death itself, that's the second circle. It's infinite, and it's not yours. Unbreakable people live in the first circle. The weak die in the second. You think your suffering comes from what happened to you. It doesn't. It comes from the story you refuse to stop telling about what happened to you. Pain hits everyone. A betrayal, a diagnosis, a failure. That's life. But after the hit, you get a choice. You either grip the second circle and scream, "Why me?" until your voice gives out, or you step into the first circle and ask, "What now?" One keeps you a victim, the other makes you dangerous. Watch what happens when you actually do this. Stop trying to control your partner's mood. Control your response to it. Stop trying to control the outcome of the deal. Control your preparation. Stop trying to control death. Control how you live today. The second you release what isn't yours, something violent happens. Your power returns. All that energy you wasted on the wind, now it's in your hands. Now it's lethal. This is why you're anxious. You're trying to steer 1,000 ships from a shore you don't own. Let them sink. You've got one ship. Yours. Grip the wheel. But here's the part that should terrify you. Most people will never do this. Because control is an addiction. Blaming the second circle feels good. It's easy. If only they changed. If only it was different. It lets you stay soft. It lets you avoid the real work. The work inside the first circle. And that work? That's discomfort. That's discipline. That's effort without guarantee. That's lesson 4 and lesson 8 already knocking on your door. You want to know why you keep reacting instead of responding? Why external validation owns you? Why obstacles break you instead of building you? It's this. All of it traces back here. You haven't drawn the line between what's yours and what isn't, and until you do, nothing else I teach you will matter. You'll learn about death but still waste time. You'll learn about pain but still choose suffering. You'll learn about obstacles but still see them as walls instead of fuel. So here's your first test. Not tomorrow. Now. Name one thing in the second circle that's stealing your peace today. Write it down, look at it, and let it go. Not because it doesn't matter, because it's not yours. Master this, and you unlock everything else. Fail it, and you stay breakable. They lied to you. They told you the goal was to feel good, to be happy, to avoid pain. So you built your whole life around dodging it. You numbed, you scrolled, you ran. You told yourself this shouldn't be happening to me. And when pain found you anyway, because it always does, you didn't just feel it. You drowned in it. You called it unfair, you made it your identity. You let it write your story. Here's the truth that will either free you or destroy you. Pain is a fact. Suffering is a decision. You will be betrayed. You will fail. You will lose people you love. Your body will break. Your plans will burn. That's the tax for being alive. No one negotiates their way out of it. The emperors and the slaves, the rich and the broke. Pain finds everyone. It's the great equalizer. You don't get a vote. But after the hit lands, you get a second moment, a space. And in that space you choose the story. You choose what it means. Two men get punched in the mouth. The first one spits blood and says, "This is the end of me. The world is against me." He suffers. He quits. He tells that story for 20 years. The second man spits blood and says, "Good, now I know I can take a hit and stay standing." He feels the same pain, but he refuses to suffer. He turns it into data, into fuel, into proof. See the difference? Pain is the punch. Suffering is the story you tell after. This is why you're stuck, because every time life hurts, you add a second arrow. The first arrow, the event, the breakup, the injury, the loss. The second arrow, I can't handle this. This ruins me, why always me? You fire that second arrow into yourself. The first one was life. The second one was you. Unbreakable people don't get fewer first arrows. They stop firing second ones. This links to everything. You can't control pain. That's about control, but you can control the meaning you give it. That's about your mind. You can't avoid the fire, but you can choose to walk through discomfort on purpose to get stronger. You can't stop the trigger, but you can choose your response instead of reacting blind. You can't escape death, but you can decide pain won't kill your spirit before your body goes. You can't control outcomes, but you can control your effort even while you bleed. You can't avoid obstacles, but you can decide they forge you instead of flatten you. And if you don't master yourself, pain will rule you forever. So here's your test. What's the pain you're turning into suffering right now? The thing you keep replaying? Name it. Feel it. Don't run. Then rip the story out. Replace it. This didn't happen to me. It happened for me. Write that down. Say it until your mind believes it. Master this, and you become untouchable. Because a man who can't be made to suffer can't be controlled. This is lesson 2. The line between broken and unbreakable is drawn right here. You're not in prison. You're the warden. Look at your life. Every chain, every wall, every cell door. You built it. Not with steel, with thoughts. One thought at a time. I'm not enough. They'll judge me. What if I fail? I can't handle this. You whispered those sentences to yourself for years. Quiet at first, then louder. Now they're shouting. Now they run the show. And you're sitting there wondering why you feel trapped, blaming the world, blaming pain, blaming other people, blaming your past. Stop. The world didn't lock you up. Your mind did. And only your mind can set you free. Here's the brutal truth that changes everything. Your life isn't shaped by what happens to you. It's shaped by what you say about what happens to you. Two people lose the same job, same day, Same email. The first one reads it and thinks, I'm worthless. It's over. I'll never recover. That thought becomes emotion. The emotion becomes action. He spirals. He drinks. He isolates. He quits on himself. The second man reads the same email and thinks, good. That door closed so I can kick open another one. Now I build. That thought becomes energy. The energy becomes action. He trains. He applies. He creates. Same event. Different sentence in the head. Different life. One man lived in the event. The other lived in the meaning. That's the whole game. You already learned you can't control the world. That's about control. You already learned pain will hit. That's about suffering. But here's where most men die without a funeral. They let the first thought win. The automatic one. The scared one. The angry one. The victim one. The one that sounds like you, but isn't you. It's the intruder. It's the enemy. It's the voice of every fear you've ever fed. And you've been letting it live in your head rent-free. Giving orders, running your day, writing your future. Unbreakable people do one thing different, and it sounds simple until you try it. They don't believe everything they think. A thought comes, they see it, they don't merge with it, they test it. Is this true? Is this useful? Is this fact, or is this fear talking? Is this me, or is this the voice of my father, my ex, my failure from 10 years ago? If it's garbage, they drop it. If it's fire, they use it. If it's a lie, they burn it. I can't. I'm tired. They don't respect me. It's too late. I've always been this way. That's your warden talking. That's the bars. Now talk back. Out loud if you have to. That's a lie. I'm in control here. Next thought. Do that for a day. Do that for a week. You'll watch your life change faster than any habit, any plan, any motivation video. Because you won't be changing your actions. You'll be changing the commander who gives the orders. Master your thoughts and you master pain. You master fear. You master death. You master your response. You master effort. You master obstacles. You master yourself. Fail this, and nothing else works. You'll have all the tools, all the knowledge, all the strategies, and still build a cage, still react, still suffer, still break. This is lesson 3. The war isn't out there. It never was. It wasn't in the world. It wasn't in the pain. It wasn't in them. It's right between your ears. And you're finally awake to who's been holding the key the whole time. You were trained wrong. Since you were a child, they taught you one rule: seek comfort, avoid pain. If it hurts, stop. If it's hard, quit. If it's scary, hide. If it's uncomfortable, numb it. So you built your life like a fortress. Soft pillows, warm rooms, easy choices. You called it happiness. You called it peace. It was a lie. It was a coffin, because everything you want, strength, freedom, respect, self-mastery, lives on the other side of discomfort. And you've been running from the doorway your whole life. Here's the truth they never told you. Comfort is addiction. Discomfort is medicine. Your body knows this. Pick up heavy weight and it hurts. So your muscle breaks down, you sleep, you eat, you come back stronger. That's growth. But only if you embrace the burn. Avoid the weight, stay comfortable, and you get weak. Your mind works the exact same way. You already learned you can't control the world. You already learned pain is inevitable, but suffering is a choice. You already learned your thoughts run the show. Now here's the test. Will you choose discomfort on purpose, or will you let life force it on you? Because life will bring fire either way. The difference is this: when you choose it, you hold the torch. When it chooses you, it burns your house down. 2 men face cold water. The first one dips a toe, feels the shock, and says, "No, this is bad. I need comfort." He steps back. He stays soft. He stays the same. A second man feels the same shock and says, "Good, this is training." He steps in. He breathes. He stays. His body adapts. His mind adapts. His will gets harder. 1 hour later, They're not the same species anymore. That's what discomfort does. It's the forge. You don't get strong in the warm bath. You get strong in the cold plunge. You don't get courage by avoiding fear. You get courage by walking straight into it while your legs shake. You don't get discipline by doing what's easy. You get discipline by doing what's hard when no one's watching. This links to everything. You can't control the world, but you can control whether you seek comfort or seek growth. You can't avoid pain, but you can choose to use discomfort as your teacher instead of letting it become suffering. You can't control your first thought, but you can master your response by choosing the hard thought. I'll do it anyway. You can't escape death, but you can decide not to die soft, unused, with your potential still inside you. You can't guarantee outcomes, but you can guarantee effort, and effort hurts. You can't avoid obstacles, but discomfort is the obstacle, and walking through it is how you become unbreakable. And if you don't master this, you'll spend your life serving comfort like a god, and comfort is a master that makes you weak. So here's your test. Today, do one thing that makes you flinch. Cold shower, hard conversation, heavy set, early wake up. Say no when you want to say yes when you want to run. Don't negotiate with the voice that begs for ease. That voice is the warden from your last prison. Feel the resistance, thank it. That's where the door is. Master this, and you become dangerous, because a man who's friends with discomfort can't be stopped, can't be bribed, can't be broken. The world gives up on him. He never gives up on himself. This is lesson 4. Comfort was killing you slowly. Discomfort will bring you back to life. Life punches first. Always. You don't get to pick the hit. You only get to pick what happens next. Someone insults you. You feel the heat in your chest. Someone cuts you off in traffic. Your hands grip the wheel. Your boss criticizes you. Your jaw tightens. Your plan fails. Your heart drops. That first flash, that's reaction. It's automatic. It's animal. It's the old brain, the scared brain, the wounded brain screaming attack, or run, or freeze. And if you obey it, you lose. Every time. Because reaction is slavery. Reaction is you handing your power to whoever or whatever triggered you. They push a button, you dance. They throw bait, you bite. They create chaos, you become chaos. You think you're defending yourself, but you're actually giving them control of your nervous system, your emotions, your next move. Unbreakable people do something different. They don't move fast. They create space. In that space, between the punch and your answer, is your entire life. That's where freedom lives. That's where power lives. That's where you stop being a puppet and start being the master. You already learned you can't control the world. You already learned pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional. You already learned your thoughts write your reality. You already learned discomfort is the forge. Now here's the skill that ties it all together. The pause. Response is chosen. Reaction is handed to you. Two men get the same insult. The first reacts. He explodes, he swings, he screams. Now he's in jail, or fired, or alone. The insult lasted 2 seconds. His reaction lasted 10 years. The second man feels the same heat, but he breathes. 1 second, 2 seconds. He asks, is this true? Is this useful? What outcome do I want here? And he speaks. Calm, controlled, or he walks away. The insult dies in the air. He keeps his power, his peace, his direction. Same trigger, different life. This is what makes you dangerous. You can be provoked, but not controlled. You can feel anger, but not be owned by anger. You can feel fear, but not obey fear. You can feel the urge to quit, to lash out, to seek comfort, to seek validation. And you can watch that urge rise, name it, and choose something better. That's what mastery of thoughts becomes when it's applied in real time. That's what embracing discomfort looks like when the discomfort is emotional. That's what preparing for death teaches you. Because if you can face the final trigger with calm, you can face any small trigger with calm. That's what effort over outcome demands. Because reaction chases outcomes, response controls effort. That's what turning obstacles into fuel requires, because obstacles are triggers, and reaction sees a wall while response sees a way. So here's your test. Today someone will trigger you. Life guarantees it. When it happens, don't speak, don't move, don't decide. Breathe. Feel the reaction rise like a wave. Watch it, don't become it. Count to 3. Ask, what would the strongest version of me do here? Then act from there. Do that once, and you break the chain. Do that for a week, and you break the pattern. Do that for a year, and you become someone they can't predict, can't manipulate, can't break. Reaction is weakness wearing a loud mask. Response is strength moving in silence. This is lesson 5. The world will keep swinging. You decide if you get pulled into the fight, or if you choose the fight. You've been lied to since birth. They told you the scoreboard is what matters. The trophy, the promotion, the number in the bank, the applause, the girl, the result. They told you winning is everything. That lie is why you're miserable. That lie is why you quit. That lie is why you feel empty, even when you win, and crushed when you lose. Because you were taught to worship the one thing you can never control, the outcome. Here's the truth that sets you free. Outcomes are not yours. Effort is. The universe doesn't care about your goals. The market doesn't care about your plan. Other people don't care about your timeline. Rain doesn't care about your parade. Injuries happen. Cheaters win. Luck exists. Timing matters. Judges are biased. Accidents happen. Someone stronger shows up. Someone younger shows up. The game changes while you're playing it. You can do everything right and still lose. You can do everything wrong and still win. That's life. If your peace, your pride, your identity is tied to the outcome, you will always be a slave to chance, a slave to other people, a slave to things outside your skin. Unbreakable people flip the script. They don't play for the trophy, they play for the standard. The standard is simple. Did I give everything I had today? Did I control what I could control? Did I show up when it was hard? Did I keep my form when I wanted to quit? Did I choose response over reaction? Did I embrace discomfort? Did I master my thoughts? Did I act with discipline when no one was watching? If yes, you won, already, before the result comes in. If no, you lost, already, even if you got the prize. 2 men run a race. The first man obsesses over first place. He panics when he falls behind. He cuts corners. He blames the wind. If he loses, he's destroyed. If he wins, he's terrified it was luck, and he'll lose next time. He's never at peace. The second man obsesses over one thing, emptying the tank. He controls his pace, his breath, his form. He runs through pain. He doesn't look left or right. He crosses the line with nothing left. If he gets first, good. If he gets last, good. He did his job. He can sleep. He can build on it tomorrow. One man is owned by the outcome. The other man owns himself. This links to everything you've learned. You can't control the world, but you can control your effort. You can't avoid pain, but you can choose to give maximum effort despite it. You can't control your first thought, but you can control the effort to respond instead of react. You can't avoid discomfort, but effort is how you embrace it. You can't stop death, but you can make sure you die empty, no reps left in you. You can't turn every obstacle into fuel unless you give effort against it. You can't be free if you serve outcomes, because outcomes serve chance. So here's your test. Today, pick one task. Could be work, could be training, could be a conversation. Before you start, kill the outcome in your head. Don't picture the reward, don't picture the failure. Picture one thing, the standard. Ask, what does full effort look like here? Then do that. Not 99%, not good enough, full. Empty yourself into it. When it's over, don't check the result yet. Check yourself first. Did I meet the standard? If yes, stand tall. You already won. The outcome is just data now. If no, don't lie to yourself. Own it. Adjust. Tomorrow you meet the standard. Do this and you become untouchable, because the world can take your trophy. It can take your money. It can take your rank. But it can never take your effort. That's yours. That's sacred. That's the only scoreboard that matters. A man who worships outcomes is anxious, fragile, fake. A man who worships effort is calm, dangerous, real. This is lesson 6. Outcomes are the drug. Effort is the discipline. Choose your God. Life is not a straight road. It's a battlefield. And on every battlefield there are walls. You get sick, you get fired, you get betrayed, you get broke, you get heartbroken. Someone stronger blocks your path. Someone faster takes your spot. The door slams shut, the plan collapses, the body fails. Most people see a wall and stop. They curse it, they cry at it, they pray for it to move. They sit down in front of it and call it bad luck or unfair or proof that it wasn't meant to be. They make the obstacle the end of the story. Unbreakable people do the opposite. They see a wall and smile because they know the obstacle is the way. There is no path without resistance. There is no strength without weight. There is no growth without friction. The obstacle isn't in the way of your power. It is the training for your power. Every time life blocks you, it's handing you fuel. The question is whether you burn it or get buried by it. You already learned you can't control the world. Obstacles prove it. You already learned pain is inevitable. Obstacles deliver it. You already learned to master your thoughts. Obstacles test them. You already learned to embrace discomfort. Obstacles are discomfort with a name. You already learned to choose response over reaction. Obstacles are the ultimate trigger. You already learned to focus on effort, not outcome. Obstacles decide outcomes, but never effort. Now lesson 7 puts it all together. Whatever happens to you can be turned to your advantage. Two men face the same wall. The first man says, "Why me? This isn't fair. I'm stuck." He sits, he scrolls, he drinks, he complains. The wall gets taller in his mind. Months pass, the wall is still there, and now he's weaker. The second man walks up to the same wall. He says, "Good." He studies it. If he can't go through, he goes over. If he can't go over, he goes around. If he can't go around, he digs under. If he can't move it, he gets stronger pushing it. A year passes. The wall is still there, but now it's his gym. Now he's bigger than the wall. Same obstacle, different men. The difference wasn't the wall. The difference was what they did with it. You think losing your job is the end? Good. Now you're forced to build something that's yours. You think getting injured is the end? Good. Now you learn patience, discipline, and how to train what isn't broken. You think getting rejected is the end? Good. Now you learn to be unshakable without approval. You think failing in public is the end? Good. Now you're immune to shame. Every no is a redirection. Every not yet is a test of patience. Every you can't is a question. What if I did? Every setback is data. Every enemy is a teacher. Every loss is a lesson in where you were weak. Every storm is a chance to prove you don't break. So here's your test. Today something will block you. Life guarantees it. When it happens, don't say, "Why me?" Say, "Good." Say, "This is training." Say, "What does this make possible?" Then act. If it blocks your plan A, build plan B. If it takes your strength, build your mind. If it takes your time, build your patience. If it takes your pride, build your humility. Do not beg for an easier life. Beg for stronger shoulders, because easy lives make weak men. Hard obstacles make legends, if you use them. The world will keep putting walls in front of you. Weak men see prisons. Strong men see gyms. Unbreakable men see fuel. This is lesson 7. The obstacle isn't the enemy. The obstacle is the path. A man who lives only for himself is the weakest man alive. He's small, he's fragile, he's one bad day from collapse. Because when your whole world is me, my comfort, my money, my status, my feelings, then every loss is total. Every setback is personal. Every obstacle feels like the universe attacking you. Why? Because you made yourself the center of the universe, and the universe is too big to care about one man's ego. Unbreakable men know the secret. Strength comes from service. You already learned you can't control the world. You already learned pain is inevitable. You already learned to master thoughts, embrace discomfort, choose response over reaction. You already learned to focus on effort, not outcome. You already learned to turn obstacles into fuel. Now the question, fuel for what? If your effort only serves your bank account, you'll quit when the account is full or empty. If your discipline only serves your body, you'll quit when the body gets old. If your strength only serves your pride, you'll break when someone humbles you. But if your strength serves something bigger, family, tribe, mission, God, the next generation, the helpless, you become unstoppable. Because now pain has a purpose, now discipline has a direction, now sacrifice makes sense, now you can lose everything and still stand, because you weren't fighting for yours. Two men enter the same storm. The first man is alone. He's fighting for himself. The wind hits. He thinks, why me? I don't deserve this. The cold bites. He thinks, this isn't worth it. He quits. Because self-preservation says, preserve the self. And the self is tired. The second man is carrying someone, a child, a brother, a cause. The wind hits. He thinks, they don't deserve this cold. The storm rages. He thinks if I stop, they stop. He keeps moving, not because he's stronger, because his strength isn't his. And a man will do for others what he'll never do for himself. That's why mothers lift cars off babies. That's why soldiers run into fire. That's why men work jobs they hate for decades. Love outlifts ego. Mission outlifts motivation. Service outlifts self. You think you're unbreakable? Test it. Remove everyone else. Remove your family, your people, your purpose. Now stand in the storm alone, for no one, for nothing, just you. How long do you last? Minutes, maybe hours, because the self is a terrible god. It's needy, it's whiny, it quits when it's uncomfortable. But attach your discipline to your daughter's future. Attach your effort to your men's survival. Attach your pain to a promise you made to someone who can't fight for themselves. Now watch what happens. Now you train when sick. Now you stay calm when insulted. Now you get up after failure. Not for you, for them, and suddenly you have power you didn't know existed. This is why selfish men are weak, and selfless men are dangerous. Selfish men have limits, their own comfort. Selfless men have no limits, because they're not fighting for comfort. They're fighting for something that outlives them. So here's your test. Today ask, who am I serving? If the answer is only me, you're building on sand. Pick one thing bigger, your family, your crew, your word, your faith, your craft, the boy you used to be, the man you promised to become. Then tie every rep, every choice, every hardship to that. When pain comes, don't ask why me. Ask, who is this for? When you serve yourself, you break. When you serve something bigger, you bend, and you never break. This is lesson 8. The self is a cage. Service is the key. Unlock yourself. There are two of you. The first one is weak. He's loud. He's scared. He's addicted to comfort, approval, excuses. He wants pleasure now and pain never. He whines when it's hard. He quits when it hurts. He scrolls when he should work. He blames when he should own it. He dreams but never does. He's the boy in a man's body. He's the part of you that breaks. The second one is unbreakable. He's quiet. He's disciplined. He's forged in fire. He does what's hard because it's right. He keeps his word when nobody's watching. He suffers in silence and grows in darkness. He's the man you were born to be. He's the part of you that endures. You don't become him by adding things. You become him by killing things. You must die before you die. Not your body, your weakness, your ego, your old story, the version of you that loses, the version of you that begs, that hides, that numbs, that waits. That man has to die so the real man can live. You already learned you can't control the world. You already learned pain is inevitable. You already learned to master thoughts, embrace discomfort, choose response, focus on effort, turn obstacles into fuel, serve something bigger. But all of that fails if the weak self is still running the show, because he will sabotage every lesson the second it costs him comfort. The weak self is clever. He doesn't say, I'm weak. He says, tomorrow. He doesn't say, I'm scared. He says, be realistic. He doesn't say, I quit. He says, I'm just not motivated. He dresses fear up as logic. He calls laziness self-care. He calls cowardice boundaries. He is the enemy inside the walls. You cannot negotiate with him. You cannot reform him. You cannot partner with him. You have to kill him. How? Ritual, violence against the old self. Not physical, psychological. You burn the ships. You cut the excuses. You bury the habits. You do the thing he fears most, first thing in the morning, every day, until he stops screaming. Cold shower? He hates it. Good. Do it. Hard conversation? He dreads it. Good. Have it. Training when tired? He begs off. Good. Train. Waking at 5 a.m.? He whines. Good. Get up. Every time you choose pain over comfort, you drive a nail into his coffin. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, you dig his grave deeper. Most men never kill him. They let him live. They feed him. They listen to him. Then they wonder why they feel split, why they have big goals but small actions, why they feel like an imposter. Because they are. The man wants one thing, the boy wants another, and the boy usually wins, because dying is hard. But here's the truth. You're going to die anyway. The question is which version of you dies. Let the weak self die now, while you live, or let the strong self die slowly, while the weak self lives in your body, for 80 years. One death is a birth, the other is a waste. Two men face the same dawn. The first man rolls over. The weak self says, "Sleep, you deserve rest." He listens, he dies a little. The second man gets up. The weak self screams, "Stop, this hurts." He smiles, he kills it, he lives a little more. Multiply that by 10,000 mornings. One man is dead inside at 40. The other is just being born at 40. So here's your test. Today, identify the weak self. What does he want right now? Comfort, distraction, validation, applause, escape. Good. Do the opposite. If he wants to scroll, train. If he wants to lie, tell the truth. If he wants to quit, do one more. Each act is a funeral for him and a birthday for you. You cannot be reborn until you bury what needs to die. You cannot be unbreakable while the weak self holds the keys. You cannot serve something bigger while serving him. This is lesson 9. Kill the boy, birth the man. Die before you die, so you can live while you're alive. This is the final lesson, the one that makes all others permanent. You will die. Not maybe, not someday in a distant future. You could die today, tonight, tomorrow. Your heart could stop reading this sentence. A car could end you on the way home. A cell in your body could already be betraying you. You don't know. You never will. And that is your greatest power. Most men live like they're immortal. They waste days. They postpone hard talks. They delay apologies. They say, "I'll start Monday." They hold grudges for years. They live like death is a problem for old men. So they become old men full of regret. Men who never lived, only existed, waiting for a right time that never comes. Unbreakable men do the opposite. They live ready to leave. This isn't morbid. It's freedom. When you truly accept death, fear dies first. What can the world take from a man who already gave everything away? What can pain do to a man who's already buried his weak self? What can loss threaten in a man who owns nothing, not even his next breath? You already learned you can't control the world. You already learned pain is inevitable. You already learned to master thoughts, embrace discomfort, choose response, focus on effort, turn obstacles into fuel, serve something bigger, kill the weak self. Lesson 10 asks, why? Because the clock is running. Because this is not a rehearsal. Two men get the same diagnosis. 1 week left. The first man panics. He cries, "I didn't live. I didn't say it. I didn't do it. I wasted my life on fear." He's right, he dies twice. Once in body, once in regret. The second man nods. He calls his people. He says what needs saying. He gives what needs giving. He sits in the sun. He's ready. Because he lived every day like it was his last week. He lived thousands of times. Which man are you right now? Be honest. If you found out tonight was your last night, what would you regret? What didn't you say? Who didn't you forgive? What work did you leave undone? What love did you withhold to protect yourself? That list is your prison. Burn it. Today. To master death is to live in a way that death cannot beat you. It means, say it now. Tell them you love them. Tell them you're sorry. Tell them the truth. Death steals your voice. Use it while you have it. Do it now. The book, the call, the risk, the training, the prayer, the dream. If it matters, it's urgent, because you're mortal. Own nothing. Hold your money, your status, your body, your plans with an open hand. You came with nothing, you leave with nothing. Grip too tight and death tortures you. Hold loosely and death frees you. Die daily. End each day like it's your last. Ask, if I died tonight, did I live today? If the answer is no, change tomorrow. But don't bank on tomorrow. It's not promised. This doesn't make you reckless. It makes you ruthless with time. You stop wasting it on people who drain you. You stop fearing opinions of men who will be dust. You stop postponing courage, because courage delayed is courage denied, and death doesn't accept IOUs. The unbreakable man isn't unafraid of death. He's so familiar with it that he uses it. He keeps it on his shoulder. Whispers, memento mori, remember you die. Not to be sad, to be awake, to be alive, to be dangerous. A man who's made peace with death cannot be controlled, cannot be stopped. So here's your test. Tonight, write your eulogy. Not the fake one, the true one. If you died today, what would they actually say? He worked a lot. He was scared. He almost did it. Good. Now write the one you want. He loved hard. He kept his word. He lived. The gap between those two is your work. Close it, now. This is lesson 10, the final lesson. Master death, so you can finally master life. Live ready to leave, then you'll never have to get ready. You are unbreakable. Not because you won't die,